They're not even, so I probably got some wrong. Some I thought were right were left. Actually, I think is what the problem is.
So you sorted out the whole stack and put it in what
Where I
you
thought.
thought was right or left.
Where I thought. Some of them were hard. I think some of them I could do with both hands. Obviously, I could do it, but it looked to me like it was more right than left.
And who's gonna check them for you?
Chelsea is.
Your occupational therapist, Chelsea.
Yeah, she go look at them.
She's gonna check them and say yes or no.
Yeah, I think I'm more over
While we
here.
were off camera, I asked Chelsea a question, and she's got a diagram for me to explain it for me.
Yep.
And maybe you too, if you need to know. So
they're
we're
not
gonna
as
video
hard
it.
for you.
Well, some of them are. Some of them are, and that's why I was wondering why, like, for you, the ones that seem harder for you on some of them, they weren't for me, and for some of mine that are easy or harder, you just kind of just really did them out. So I was trying to figure out what the deal was, other than just the stroke. Here's this lovely diagram. Oh, I love your colors, Chelsea.
Okay. Sorry. So, looking at your brain sliced in half, when we come back to where the occipital lobe is in both hemispheres, you have a primary visual cortex, as evidenced by this gray. And on each side of the brain, that is where those optic nerves come from. So, in your right hemisphere, you've got these two tracks that come, and at the optic chiasma, they kind of split. So you can see how one goes towards your right eye and the other one goes to your left eye. And then same thing on the opposite side. So it comes all the way from that occipital lobe, and right at that optic chiasma, they split once again. So this right side controls what you're seeing out in the left side of your vision. And then the left occipital lobe in the back, where those nerves start at, control what you see in the right side of your vision. So that is the anatomy of the nerves when it controls what you're seeing. If there's any damage to this portion, then you lose sight of what you're seeing out to the left, or here, vice versa, out to the right. When someone has damage further towards the eye, then what you're having difficulty with is the whole vision in that one eye. This is what you're able to see, just completely, just the image that you're seeing. But the interpretation of what you're seeing out in the world travels those nerves all the way back to the occipital lobe, and that's where information is processed. So what you're seeing from both eyes bilaterally is being processed back here.
That's why the left one is distorted a little bit, because the right side more is damaged than that. Well,
Right.
cerebral.
So for your stroke.
For your stroke happened in the right hemisphere. So what you're seeing out onto the left side of the world can be distorted.
Yeah, because it's going different ways. Trying to go a different path than it normally would.
Yeah, so that information that we're seeing has to go all the way back here and be interpreted. And what you're also seeing is flipped upside down, so then it has to be reflipped in the back of the brain.
And mine is a little bit, I think, different in the sense of, because I have a little bit of on both sides, a little bit. Less control on the right and numbness on left. So it probably, it's more than, I thought this was the back. Is this the back?
Nope, this is the front where your eyes are.
Oh.
This is the back.
Well, okay, then that's where the stem is in the middle. Then,
Part on the right and a little in the middle.
my stroke was on the mostly on the right, but some a little bit on the left.
Mm-hmm.
And you also have some impairment in the muscles that control that eye. So while it's looking here, you know, they're not converging and meeting at the place that they should. Maybe it's, I think for you, it's a little bit further out when this is staying in. So then we're hitting an image at the wrong places.
Okay.
And your images lately have been on top of each other. So I think that you've got a little bit of a pull upward or downward. If that the second image is on top, you got a little bit of a pull upward on that eye and weakness on the muscles that are controlling it down, so that you're seeing those stacked images.
So that would that make a difference on right and left. I mean, that's probably why I'm switching it a little bit.
Perceptually wise?
Yeah, perception.
Perceptual, it's all back here in the occipital lobe where the damage that you had in the stroke was that impacted your visual perception. The stacking of the image, that's the motor function of the eye, specifically out here.
Sometimes I think that something is right when it's left or left is right. Sometimes a map, north is south, south is north, but I don't know why that is.
Yeah.
Except going a different path to get there, you know.
That's from the occipital lobe. That part is like the flip-flop, but then the stacking is the actual visual part, which is two separate issues going on that you're having to fight and to battle. Not just, gee, perception is jacked, or gee, the vision is stacked. No, it's two on top of one. Like two conditions, boom, boom, on top of each other.
And, you know, this could also be related to the brainstem, because that brainstem controls your motor coordination of your muscular movement, which is why fine motor coordination and walking are difficult for you. That can also be a cause of why this eye cannot be coordinated quite appropriately.
Okay.
Thank you, Chelsea.
Yeah, thank you.